While the Ravens celebrate 30 years of stealing a franchise, Shadur Sanders is out here cooking in practice. Perfect strikes, championship DNA. Baltimore thinks it's about history. Shedur's about to show them the future.
The Ravens are celebrating their 30th anniversary of stealing our team. That's exactly what it is. I'm over it. Chris, I'm not over it. I'm Sicilian. I'm from Cleveland, and I'm a Taurus. I don't forget. Get it?
Oh, I get it.
Get it? They stole our team, and they're going to celebrate the 30th anniversary of stealing someone else's team. I think it's classless. I understand. I don't know. I guess the Ravens, they're doing it for the Baltimore fans who got screwed too. But make no mistake about it, they're going to have a grandiose celebration, and the Browns are the opponent. Now, Grossi said on Daily Gross yesterday, oh, it's a coincidence because it's their first home game. Tony, please, don't give me that. Come on, man.
You know what they're celebrating? They are celebrating the very reason Art Modell will never be in the Hall of Fame. That's what they're celebrating.
The Baltimore Ravens just pulled the most disrespectful move in NFL history, and Kevin Stefanski is absolutely livid. While Cleveland's coach is seeing red over Baltimore celebrating the 30th anniversary of literally stealing their franchise. There's one player who's ready to make them pay for it, Shedeur Sanders. The kid just torched practice with a perfect strike to Gage Larvidan. And trust me, he's about to show these Ravens what happens when you disrespect the wrong city. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. This isn't just about revenge. It's about a young quarterback who's ready to write his own legacy in the most hostile environment imaginable.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because that isn't the first thing that I think about, you know, not being from here, but I can understand how that looks. Listen, they do these things, and I think you can take it however you want. If you're from Cleveland, you can take it one way, and if you're from Baltimore, you can, you know, say it's not a big deal. It's just one of those things. Honestly, for me, it kind of makes it more exciting. You know, we get to go in there when they're throwing, you know, when they're having some people back, and you know, just more ex-players, more eyes on you. It'll make it more interesting.
If you see it, a lot of fans, it's coming up. And I brought up your Hall of Fame shirt. You are a Hall of Fame voter. You have worked tirelessly to make sure that Art Modell does not get into the Hall of Fame. Not saying that it's just on you to decide that, but you have worked very hard for that. Where does that come into this whole thing? Because you had a very good line about it on RBS today, about they're celebrating the fact that Art Modell, this is why he can't get in.
Right. I mean, they don't view it in that lens, but that's the way I view it. Let's celebrate why Art Modell isn't in the Hall of Fame. It's because of this move.
Yeah.
Okay, so twice Modell made it to the final 15 for the Hall of Fame, and both times I had to speak against his election, and he didn't get past the first vote. Now, since the second time, which happened after he passed away, I forgot what year, he's been nominated by several special committees. Okay, the 2020 Centennial Committee of the Hall of Fame, the Special Contributor Committee, and each time he fails to advance. So it's not me consistently blockading him. I blockaded him twice, and then I think others have tried to get him in, and they have failed to do so. So there's
Yo, what's good, fam? Your boy's back with another one. And let me tell you something. The NFL just got spicy. We're talking about drama that's been brewing for 30 years. A young quarterback who's about to make his statement. And a celebration that has an entire city ready to go to war. But before we dive into this madness, let's talk about why we're really here. Shadur Sanders is absolutely cooking in practice right now. Fred Graham just dropped some fire content showing our guy connecting with Gage Larvidan on what can only be described as a perfect ball placement. When I tell you this kid is staying ready, so he doesn't have to get ready, I mean it. While everyone's focused on the drama between Baltimore and Cleveland, Shadur is out here doing what champions do, perfecting his craft when nobody's watching.
We all know kind of the story there. And yeah, like, I have nothing but love for the people in that facility and the people in that city. I mean, for sure. It's one of those things, like, you know, in the NFL, you know, there's a business side of it, and, you know, things happen. I'm fortunate to be where I am today and be in this position, but I have nothing for love for that city and for that organization. I mean, I was a small school guy that they took a little bit of a chance on early on.
And check this out. His former Colorado teammate LeJohnny Wester is going to be lining up as the starting punt returner and third slot receiver in this very same game. It's like the football gods are setting up the perfect stage for Shedeur to show what happens when you doubt young talent with championship DNA. Now, let me paint you the picture of what's really happening here, because this isn't just another regular season matchup. The Baltimore Ravens decided to schedule their 30th anniversary celebration, and I'm not making this up, against the Cleveland Browns. The same Browns whose original franchise was literally moved to Baltimore back in 1996. Think about that for a second. Imagine someone stole your car, kept it for 30 years, and then threw a party celebrating how awesome that car has been, right in front of your house. That's exactly what Baltimore is doing to Cleveland, and the Browns organization is absolutely heated about it. I gotta show you this clip, because the raw emotion from Cleveland fans is something else. Listen to this passion, this pain that's been festering for 3 decades. One fan straight up said, "The Ravens are celebrating their 30th anniversary of stealing our team." That's exactly what it is. And you know what? He's not wrong. But here's where it gets really interesting. The timing isn't a coincidence. Baltimore could have celebrated this milestone against any team on any date. They chose Cleveland. They chose to twist the knife. They chose violence. And now they're about to find out what happens when you poke a sleeping giant. The disrespect runs so deep that even Lamar Jackson had to address it in his press conference. Now, Lamar's trying to be diplomatic about the whole situation, talking about having nothing but love for Cleveland and how it's just business. But you can see it in his eyes. He knows exactly what Baltimore is doing. He knows this celebration is a direct shot across the bow. Lamar said, "I was a small school guy that they took a chance on early in the draft. And I have so many good memories with those people and that city." That's respect right there. But then he follows it up with, "This week it's not about that for us as a football team. It's about us getting prepared for a good quarterback." Hold up. Did he just give props to the Browns quarterback situation? Because if he's talking about preparing for a good quarterback, he might be talking about more than just their current starter. Word on the street is that Cleveland's been watching Shedeur Sanders very closely. And if you know anything about championship-level talent, you know it finds a way to shine in the biggest moments. Now, here's where the story gets really juicy. The Cleveland Browns fans aren't just mad, they're calling for blood. One fan said it perfectly. "I'm Sicilian, I'm from Cleveland, and I'm a tourist. I don't forget." That's the kind of energy that creates legendary moments in sports history. But while Cleveland's getting emotional, Baltimore's being calculated. They're not just celebrating their anniversary. They're celebrating the fact that Art Modell, the man who moved the Browns, will never make the Hall of Fame because of this move. They're celebrating their success built on Cleveland's heartbreak. And they're doing it with no shame whatsoever. Sashi Brown, who's now Baltimore's president and used to work for Cleveland, could have easily said, "Hey, maybe we should pick a different date for this celebration." But he didn't. This was intentional. This was strategic. This was designed to get under Cleveland's skin, and honestly, it's working perfectly. You want to talk about bulletin board material? This is how you create a powder keg. This is how you turn a regular Sunday afternoon game into a war zone. Baltimore just gave Cleveland every reason in the world to come out swinging. And that's exactly the kind of environment where legends are born. And that brings us back to Shadur Sanders. While all this drama is unfolding, while grown men are arguing about 30-year-old grudges, this young man is out here putting in work. That connection with Gage Larvidin? That wasn't luck. That was precision. That was the kind of ball placement that makes scouts start making phone calls. See, here's what Baltimore doesn't understand. They're not just disrespecting Cleveland's past. They're about to get schooled by Cleveland's future. Shadur Sanders represents everything that's right about young talent in this league. While veterans are talking about respect and history, he's creating his own legacy one perfect throw at a time. The Ravens think they're celebrating their dominance. But what they're really doing is setting up the perfect stage for someone to make a statement. And if there's one thing we know about the Sanders family, it's that they don't shy away from big moments. They embrace them. Remember when everyone doubted Dion? Remember when they said he was all flash and no substance? Now look at his legacy. That same DNA, that same confidence, that same ability to rise to the occasion when the lights are brightest. That's exactly what Shedeur brings to the table. Baltimore wants to celebrate their 30 years of success? Cool. But they better be ready for the next chapter of this story, because it might not go the way they're expecting. When you disrespect an entire city, when you schedule your celebration specifically to hurt people who are still healing from a 30-year-old wound, you better come correct. And here's the beautiful irony of this whole situation. Baltimore's trying to show dominance by celebrating their past, while Cleveland's future is being built by a young quarterback who doesn't care about your history. Shadur Sanders isn't intimidated by your 30 years of success. He's focused on the next 30 years of his own greatness. The Ravens want to make this about Art Modell and franchise moves and all that old drama? Fine. But football games aren't won by anniversary celebrations. They're won by players who show up when it matters most. And if you've been watching Shadur Sanders at all, you know he's built different. This kid thrives under pressure. He elevates his game when people doubt him. And right now, with all eyes on this rivalry, with all the emotion and drama surrounding this matchup, he's about to walk into the perfect storm and show everyone why the hype is real. Baltimore thinks they're being clever with this anniversary celebration. They think they're getting inside Cleveland's head. But what they're really doing is giving Shadur Sanders the ultimate motivation. They're giving him a chance to be the hero in someone else's story. And that's exactly the kind of opportunity that separates good players from legends. While Kevin Stefanski is furious about the disrespect, while Cleveland fans are calling for revenge, while Baltimore is patting themselves on the back for their psychological warfare, there's a young quarterback somewhere perfecting his craft and getting ready to remind everyone that the future doesn't care about the past. The Ravens want to celebrate? Let them celebrate. But come Sunday, when the lights are on and the crowd is hostile and the emotions are running high, we're about to see what happens when preparation meets opportunity. We're about to see what happens when young talent gets a chance to write its own chapter in this 30-year-old story. And trust me, fam, you don't want to miss what happens next. What do you think? Is Baltimore's anniversary celebration the ultimate disrespect, or just smart psychological warfare? And more importantly, is Shadur Sanders ready to make his mark in the middle of this chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button if you're ready for some Sunday drama. And make sure you subscribe because this story is just getting started. The real fireworks are about to begin, and you know your boy will be here to break it all down for you.